Good morning, class. We are going to be diving right into forms. Now, we took our pre-test and we played around on our graph paper talking about forms and shapes. But today we're going to really look at forms. Forms being a 3D shape, so drawing a shape and making it look 3D. So one shape that we all have learned ever since kindergarten is the square. So I made this square 4 squares tall and 4 squares wide. Same on both sides. Now the 3D form of a square is called a cube. I'm going to draw 3 lines back from the corners. If I want to make it 3D, I would do a 4th. They go the same diagonal direction. I made them 2 squares long. I can make that into a cube. If I wanted to make it 3D, I would do that 4th one and connect to those ending lines and make some cubes. We're going to be working on some of our 3D shapes today, and we're going to work on some different ones next time. So I've got my cube. That's when it's from a square. What about a rectangle? What is the 3D form of a rectangle? It's called a rectangular prism. Prism is a common word for 3D forms of a shape. So I'm going to draw my 3 lines back. If I want to, I can do my 4th. They both went 2 back. They all went that same direction. I'm not sticking my legs out these ways. That's what you'd use your eraser for. Alright, they're all going the same direction. And then I'm connecting my lines, those ends. I have a nice rectangular prism. Now, we can use squares and rectangles. Another shape, though, that we can use is a triangle. So if I've got a triangle, there's actually 2 different kinds of forms I can make out of this triangle. One is called a triangular prism. And that would just be drawing those 1, 2, I'm just going to do 2 this time, not make it 3D, 2 lines back. The reason I didn't choose this one because it would go inside of my triangle, and that would make it look like it was 3, you could see through it. And I decided I don't want to be able to see through this one, so I'm just going to make it these 2. And I know it's these 2 and not this one because it would be inside. And then I just connect these lines. Kind of looks like a tent. That's what I think of this one. The triangular prism looks like a tent. My other triangle you might be able to guess. You've seen these 3D triangles before sometimes in Egypt. They are called pyramids. And I just draw 1 line this time. Just drew 1 out. I didn't do the top one because it all comes to a point. So with the pyramid, you only do 1 line. And that's at the bottom, the base of the triangle. Now these are the 4 shapes we're going to look at that use only straight lines. Next time we're going to be looking at shapes that use curved lines. And I want you to practice doing these shapes with me. I'm going to go through them slowly. I'm going to hand out some paper right now, and I want you to follow along, taking the time to do each one. If we need to, I can play it over and over again until people feel confident in drawing their shapes. So I'm going to start off again with the cube. Everyone find 4 lines, make a line that's 4 squares long to be the bottom of your cube. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 tall on both sides. and make a nice square. You know it's a square because it's 4, 4, and 4. You can then take this corner, go diagonally up one line. You can see, go diagonally up 2. Do the same for this, 2, 2. Make sure we're not going out this direction. This is not the correct way. When you've got those, you just connect the lines. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Double check to make sure it's still 4. That means you've got it right if there's still 4. Man, this pencil's driving me crazy. 4. Another way of doing a cube, that's the cube that you can't see through. If I make another square, let's try and do this again. If you need help, of course, just raise your hand. I'll be wandering around. Maybe make a dot in the middle of that square. And from this dot is going to be the bottom corner of your next square. So now I can draw my next square up here. The same 4 and 4. This is a way of making a 3D one. So I just did 2 squares. And now I'm just going to connect all the corners. Try doing a square like that. Make 2 squares, one starting in the middle of the other square, and then just connect its corners. And that's a great way of making a 3D cube that is see-through. This one, it's not quite see-through. The advantage of this one, though, is if you wanted to have like a lid, you could draw a lid to the box. It looks like there's, you could open it up and there'd be something inside. Okay. Whereas this one is see-through. Let's try the rectangular prism now. It's going to be the same idea. We can draw our rectangle. Two diagonals. This corner, if you want to, you can put a star up here. So you know that's the corner your lines go to. 2 up, 2 up. I'm just drawing those arrows to show you. That's the direction I'm going, this corner. Connect those edges. Got a nice rectangular prism. Make sure you've got that done. Maybe try another one. Now try those. Let's try the triangular prism. Draw your triangle. It doesn't matter quite how many wide it is or tall, but make that bottom be flat. It's the easiest way. I like 2 up. If you really want to, you could go more, make it longer, but try to make it even. So I started here. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, and I still went through the intersecting points. Notice I didn't just draw this up like that. That is a crazy line. This is a planned line that goes through each intersection point. So 1, 2, 3, 4 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'll connect these two. Wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect the 2 lines. And I got a nice triangular prism. The last one we're going to be doing together, pyramid. There we go. Got the base. And now am I going to draw the line on the top or the bottom? Not both this time. On that bottom one, 2 up, or however many you want to try to do. Connect it over, and that's a great pyramid. Now, something's fun to do once you've gotten all of these shapes drawn is you can start stacking them on each other. That's what Minecraft is all about. They're stacking the shapes. So if I draw maybe a 3 by 3, it's 3-side square, I'm going to make it into a cube. Cool. I can then make maybe another one on top. What if I made another square on top? Another 3 by 3 square. starts trying to stack them. See what you can do. Oops, I forgot that line. So see what you can do. What if I put a pyramid on top of here? How would that look? All right. Ooh, a house. Play around with those once you feel like confident about drawing your forms. I want you to play around maybe on the back of your paper or on the other edges of your paper. See what you can do.